protected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And the only time a Muslim really gets real violent is when someone goes to molest his woman. We will kill you for our woman. I'm making it plain, yes. We will kill you for our woman. We believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men and place the same penalty over the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put in the direction of our women. Separation or death. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has shown us how integration won't work. Since 7 years have passed since the Supreme Court issued the desegregation decision, we only have 6% compliance with that Supreme Court law up at this moment. 6% in 7 years. Less than 1% per year. And these Negro leaders still walking around here thinking the white man is going to bring about integration. Has misled the public. I would like to point out that it is this misrepresentation that has caused people to misunderstand Mr. Muhammad. They say that he deals with the emotions of our people. No. When you tell a man that he's Jim Crow, you're not playing on his emotions. You're telling him the truth. What you talking about? Hold it. When you tell a black man that his neck is being broken on the tree, day in and day out, that he is segregated, Jim Crow, spit upon, deprived of civil rights, and deprived of equal rights, deprived of first-class citizenship, that's not playing on anybody's emotion. That's playing on a man's intelligence.
These are our foundation. We are here to save the children of the world. The parents in the very near future, when they see themselves not fit to educate and qualify their children, will come and recommend them to be a 5%er, and the children got to do their job to teach the parents to be civilized people, because the world is uncivilized, and these are our words, our children, and all come in the name of Allah, with the Supreme being named. That God bring about a different change that the world been seeing misery of, that live in love, peace, and happiness, with the knowledge of each man upon this planet Earth, that he is God, and the original black man is God, the founder of all men upon the planet Earth. We the 5%er here represent ourselves as God through our true knowledge as God. All wise people who can teach civilization to all the human families, which is all generation upon this planet Earth, from seas to come, from seas to go, if they will to die. We the 5%ers here to give out life to the world of people who want to live, and people who want to die, let them die. We are people with culture. I'm gonna tell you that. We are people with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture. We got the power to build over the planet Earth because we are the youth. We got the equality because we deal equal with our power. We got God seeker, we got God in our mind. We build with God knowledge because we got God in our mind. Peace. Peace.
I hate to hear a black man say, well, we outnumbered. He got more guns than we got. Oh, black woman, you in trouble when you got a black man talking like that. You mean to tell me that your woman is in a house being raped by 20 men and they got 20 guns and you ain't got but one gun and you gonna just go and cry and leave her in there being abused and misused and say, they got more guns than I got. I can't go in there. If you got a man like that, goddamn it, you ain't got no man. You might as well get rid of him. You ain't got no man. A real man has got to face it. A real man has got to determine the strategy for going in there and getting his woman out and taking some of the enemy out. That's a real man.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on? Oni Better Medicine Podcast, Koku, Peace God, Amani, Mongoose. Yeah, so what's going on, y'all? So I did want to come and holler at you. What's going on, matron? I was kind of hoping that you did come because, I'm not gonna lie, I've been I do want to do that show because I've been looking at some spooked out stuff that's going on here. I've been doing my study on that. But anyway, I'm gonna be I came on here, today is my birthday today, and I really every year I want to do something productive, what I'm saying, on my birthday, because there's no time for you to rest in this, what I'm saying? And it's like a message to myself more than anything. So, I gotta do something productive, you know what I mean? And it's been a minute, so I wanted to come on here and chop it up and show some stuff anyway. But I'm gonna be honest with you, today I turned 35 or whatever. And for the first time, I'm like, yo, it's like it's either do or die, it's like you go finish what I'm trying to accomplish, which I'm doing, what I'm saying. I had a plan and a mission and all of this stuff, but like for the first time, it's like, yo, you either do it or you just, what I'm saying, it is what it is, you put the work in. And I know that I right now don't have, any time for to be taken off of the mission, even if I got to work 100 times harder, what I'm saying? I got to know what I got to do. And, you just got to work harder. So, that kind of stuff is like, thank y'all. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I definitely want to do that, But yeah, I mean, I have this we have to work harder than we're working, what I'm saying? Like time is going to keep going, And I get it. It's like it comes with age and experience and stuff. It's like you become more unapologetic, and you are more on your square. And it is like, yo, it is what it is, It's no more this I'm trying to find out who I am. It's time to put all of this stuff in action. And on a grander scale, it's been a long time coming for us to do these kind of things. That's why it's important for, what up, Ketter? I appreciate that. And that's why it's important for us to put in the work, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like just a year ago, my homegirl, my age, had heart problems, what I'm saying? She passed away. She had young kids and whatever. My boy, in his 50s, he died of the way he was living. And it's more than just the basics. It's trying to destroy a whole structure and a whole thing that's against us, and building at least starting the building blocks of trying to create something that'll change the outlook. You know what I'm saying? You can't change people's minds, but you can put something there available for the people whose minds are already changing, you know what I'm saying, for themselves. and give them the outlets, you know what I'm saying? Because like we ignore a lot of the environments and the circumstances, and there's no excuse. It's just the things that you have to react to and respond to, and to find out what ticks in somebody and what doesn't, you know. But this John say something different. So let me, it don't even say share no more, I say present. But before I go on to anything, let me share this because I have to. I want people to know that this is still up, the water crisis thing. Now, I don't be talking about it because, you know, like we didn't meet the deadline. You know, people asked me to keep it up. And everybody who hit me back, like, keep going, you know, it's something that I want to try, you know, and that's why I keep asking for anybody who's like a designer or something who can help me, like, create a professional looking page, you know. It's something like, just contact me because it's like ideas that I want to talk about off, you know, here, you know, and ways that we can help more than just one person, you know. If not, then, you know, is a couple of options. Either you could just send this to the people that is down there, or, like, you know, find something to do with it that's important. But, you know, like I said, I wanted to show that it's still up, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we still doing that. Yeah, what up, Bakari? So yeah, I just wanted people to know that. But yo, if you can definitely help me make this look like on a computer wise, tech savvy, if you're good at making, like, you know, like a page or something like that, yo, get in contact with me. I'll let you know like how to do this, you know what I'm saying? It's just so many other things that I'm trying to do. It's hard to do a lot of things at once, you know. So I want somebody who is skilled at it so it could be professional, you know, when we take care of business, you know. All right, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of late, yo. So shouts out to my brother D Web. He had a great interview. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. He had a great interview with a sister earlier. So a few minutes ago. It was a lot of real information, and she said something that was, you know, really deep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of put the title in there to you know, kind of troll matron, because it's something I want to show, but this is not the main topic, for real, for real. But all right, so if y'all come on here, you know what I'm saying, you can come on here, but I'm gonna just show the stuff and then, you know, go through it. And then we're gonna be out of here. All right, so I was gonna show this video, but number one, I'm glad D Web showed it because I couldn't show this. I couldn't even play it. Like, I tried to play it, but I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all seen this video here. So I mean, I'm pretty sure one of y'all was probably in the background in this video, which are Democrat flag or something like that. Or, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad he played this because I really can't play this video. Hold on 1 second. All right, so, you know, I'm glad I can skip that one because I'm gonna just go through a couple things real quick because there's some stuff I'll show, but it's something I wanted to show y'all. But when I was just looking, you know, this black judge down in Dallas, you know what I'm saying, she recused from dozens of upcoming cases after attorneys alleged bias. Now, I'm gonna play the video and we'll go through it.
Months of accusations, allegations, even motions came to a head on Friday, all involving Judge Amber Givens of Dallas County's 208.
Now, I can't play that video, Bakari. I can't play that. I can't even listen to it, to be honest with you. And, you know, and y'all probably say I got my cape. Well, I can't even put Trina in that light. I don't know why she would do that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't put Trina on blast like that. So let me play this one. Y'all gonna do it enough anyway, believe me.
Accusations, allegations, even motions came to a head on Friday, all involving Judge Amber Givens of Dallas County's 282nd District Court.
There have been a number of motions to recuse.
Attorneys representing dozens of clients fought for their motions to take Judge Givens off their cases, calling her biased, unresponsive, her court ineffective. She voluntarily recused herself from a number of cases an hour before the hearing. This judge granted dozens more.
I've not heard of any judge facing that many recusals in their entire judicial careers, let alone at one time. It's unprecedented.
Scott Becker is an attorney and former district judge. He says it's very uncommon for the DA's office to not even object to removing the judge.
She has made it abundantly clear to everyone that she has a bias and she is willing to execute it and to use it.
Now, when they get pissed off like that and talking about she has a bias, I want you to understand what they're trying to say. You know what kind of bias they're talking about here.
To execute it and to use it.
Defense attorney Mark Lassiter, who was also at Friday's hearing, he represents dozens of members with the Dallas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, says he filed recusal motions months ago.
Judge Gibbons doesn't have a problem with shaping the truth to her own prerogatives.
Attorney Manny Haddad just had 7 clients' cases taken off her docket. He cites a client's bond had been forfeited without anyone knowing.
It's either we get our cases moved out or, you have to be concerned about your license.
The judge has not responded to our request for a comment. Judge Gibbons has been under heavy scrutiny. Sources tell WFAA she is being investigated by the Texas Rangers after it's alleged a court coordinator sat in and impersonated her on a hearing, an allegation she denies. Scott Becker can't speak to this allegation, but can say removing a judge needs a high burden, and this just may be it.
It's not in any rule book anywhere. It's just so clearly wrong that, yes, that judge should be removed from that case.
In all, Friday's ruling affects between 50 and 100 cases, and one judge at the center of it all.
All right, now listen, this was the wrong one too, because they said that she was banned from bringing firearms to the courthouse now or something. No, that was a different case. But the judge was saying a judge was banned from bringing the firearms to court, which tells you like that judges can bring guns to court. I guess it's just one particular judge was banned. But so listen, this is what she was. This is what she's saying here, and I don't know all of the things, but they're saying her crime. Successfully lobbying for the inclusion of anti-discrimination policy as part of the Dallas District Court Plan, which establishes practices for the appointment of attorneys for indigent defendants. Let's see. She was compelled to advocate for the language after seeing social media posts refer to Black people participating in protests as animals and savages. She said they were from various lawyers and attorneys who was basically calling Black people savages. And they're saying that they didn't like that a young female judge was able to have language added that jeopardized their case assignments. The anti-discrimination policy deemed that the attorneys found using inappropriate language and conduct that manifests a bias or prejudice based on race, blah, 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 would be deemed ineligible to receive county court appointments to represent, So, okay, so, pretty much she's trying to, like I wanted to point this out because I was just talking about the other judge, the other brother who got in trouble for not letting the defendant have an all-Black jury on the last one. But they also did this with her too, like a few years ago. So they was always on her. This was in 2019.
I told with the fact that we have Dr. Martin Luther King, who was 26 when he became the face of the civil rights movement.
Inside the MLK Center in Dallas, Judge Amber Givens Davis reflects on the trials of Dr. King and other civil rights leaders.
Whatever their life's journey will be, if they're rooted in purpose, then the criticism is just something that comes with the role.
That perspective would help her through her latest trial.
It really was my first major case that I allowed the press into the courtroom with the cameras because I felt like the public deserved the ability to see the case as it, progressed.
Givens Davis presided over the Wesley Matthews case.
I was so focused on the case that I had no idea what was going on the live streams.
But when she left the courtroom,
I was receiving all kinds of notifications.
Thousands of comments flooded Facebook, many of them harshly criticizing her shaved head and bold makeup. Words like ghetto and stripper were used to describe her look.
We have to talk about the look so we can get beyond it because there's so much more. Look to someone's substance.
Givens Davis passed the bar in both New York and Texas, served as a prosecutor for 8 years, is a recipient of many awards and mentors aspiring lawyers.
I didn't get here by happenstance. No one gave me this position. This was one that, was ordained by God, and I've had to work to earn it.
She's using this experience to propel her forward and teach those coming behind her an important lesson.
You will have bad days. And your purpose will ground you on your life's journey on those days where society is criticizing you.
In Dallas, Candace Sweat, NBC.
All right, now look, I don't know her story or whatever, and this is what they're saying. Both judges, they criticize for her appearance, but I don't know what's going on with this white bitch right here. One of y'all would know what she is, dramatic or whatever the hell she is. But listen, with this judge, I don't know the details of the case, and shout out to Koku and subscribe to his channel. It could be a judge, a spook that's set by the door kind of thing. It could have been, change the system from within kind of thing. I'm not sure. She could have been doing, but of course I'm gonna take her side. See, I'm not sure if y'all gonna do that. Y'all might want to be like, oh, of course this is a black woman or whatever, but I'm not sure what's going on with this case, but I just know I was just talking about a bunch of different cases, and they kept saying she was biased, and no video whatsoever would they say what she was biased about. And when they would do that, if they could, they couldn't say what she was biased about. They're just kicking her out because she's biased, and she's saying because she's biased towards black people, or as the 5%ers would say, believe in equal justice for all people, So, yo, what up, Tanzan? All right, so the next thing I want to show y'all, let me see. All right, so look, y'all, this is a HBCU educated. I guess she got a black brown state, what I'm saying? Like, this is y'all people's here. But and shouts out to my sister Erica, what I'm saying? Hoping she coming back real soon, so shouts out to Erica. But yo, I want y'all to hear this, what this dude said real quick before we go to what we want to say. But listen to what he said about the Tulsa race massacre. Hold on, y'all.
I'm watching Super Bowl last year, and there's a Citigroup commercial. There's a black guy. He talks about the Tulsa massacre of 1921.
Black Wall Street. Until one day, it was all burned to the ground.
What he didn't tell you is that Tulsa, that area, was completely rebuilt within a matter of a few years without one dime of government money, and it wasn't called the Black Wall Street until after it was rebuilt.
Now, you hear what he said? Now what he said is not true based off what I've understood, what I'm saying? Because after they burned the town down and stuff like that, the city started passing ordinance to make it harder for them to rebuild, saying it was like dangerous and all this other BS, what I'm saying, just to make it hard on them. And not only that, he said they didn't call it, Rosewood until after, they rebuilt it, which is not true from what I understand. Again, it was Booker T. Washington when he came down there. He kind of coined the term Black Wall Street. From what I hear, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know, but so yeah, this dude here, I don't know what he's talking about, but I've never heard this before. But I would have did this video but they was just rambling so much, you know what I'm saying?
The point is the idea that after slavery, blacks were going, woe is me, we're not making any progress. When they did, the white man came and put his foot down and stomped everything is a flat out lie. It is a lie that racism is in America's DNA, which is what Barack Obama said. It is a lie that you could divide the country between semi-fascists and non-semi-fascists. It is a lie you could divide the country between irredeemable deplorables and those who are not, which is what Hillary said. The Democrat Party does that to divide.
Well, it is possible to do it against super predators, though. I can tell you that.
Us because they want black people to be angry. Why? Because if you're angry and you feel these guys over here, Democrats wear the white hat and these SOBs, Republicans wear the black hat, you're going to pull that lever for the Democratic Party. I'm watching Super Bowl last.
All right, so I'm not even gonna go through that stuff, you know. I just wanted to play this girl, you know, y'all favorite, you know, y'all say she's mulatto, you know. But y'all heard about that Kanye West thing, so let me play that.
About this Kanye West situation. He's trending on Twitter, he's trending on Instagram, he's trending on every platform that ever existed because he wore this little hoodie. Let's look at the picture. White Lives Matter. I don't know where. Okay, he wore it at the Yeezy Season 9 presentation in Paris. He was, in fact, not alone. Here's our girl Candy O, also wearing her White Lives Matter sweatshirt in the
y'all girl Candy O
white edition, in case you didn't want the black one. And everybody's going insane because of it. Here's a hate comment from Jameel Hill. So many folks are
okay. Oh yeah, that's cool, Matron. Because yo, it's the last part is for you. I kind of saved it, you know what I'm saying? But I was gonna go to the spooked out thing, but this was kind of something I wanted to talk about though. But you know.
And everybody's going insane because of it. Here's a hate comment from Jameel Hill. So many folks are trying to excuse Kanye wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt as just a troll move or marketing. Maybe it is, but it's a dangerously dumb message to send for someone with his massive platform. I've been off, dude, but y'all go ahead labeling his foolishness as genius. 15,000 likes on this. Let's talk about what might possess somebody to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt. I saw it and I was like, okay,
now this is the same chick when the brother was like, listen, when I'm approaching you, you know what I'm saying I'm on your left, you know what I'm saying, and you don't hear me, and then I get 10 meters and I'm saying I'm on your left and you don't hear me, and then when I just crash into you, you know, I'm saying there's a problem. So this is why we say Black Lives Matter. And she was like, oh, that's dumb as hell. That's what she was saying. Oh, how stupid is that? You know, but now let's see what she has to say about White Lives Matter.
Kanye wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Am I surprised by this? No. Do I think there's something particularly valid about doing something like this? No, but I totally get it. Where you create a culture, you will create a counterculture. And if the culture now is Black Lives Matter and F white people and they're stupid and they have power and privilege, guess what you create? Oh, a White Lives Matter t-shirt.
So you're telling me that if you tell somebody for hundreds of years they're stupid, they're nothing, they're not human, you can kill them at will, their lives don't matter, they would somehow come up with a slogan, Black Lives Matter, which is interesting that, you know, because they try to use Black Lives Matter as a euphemism or whatever you say, but for Black people, but is a white organization. So then they'll be like, oh, I'm talking about Black Lives Matter is a scam. And then they'll just turn around and say something like they're talking about Black people, you know. But it's interesting how she changed her stance, you know.
That Kanye West wears because he's a particularly, you know, salacious, sensational person. And we've known that. He's been that way since he started his career and started in this business. And so is Candace. And that's not to knock them at all. I don't really see a massive problem with this. It's going to spark a conversation. And it's probably a conversation that needs to be had. Whether or not this is the light that it needs to be had in, arguing and haggling over sweatshirts, no. But where you create Black Lives Matter, you're going to create a White Lives Matter. And Jameel Hill says in this tweet, it's a dangerously dumb message. What's dangerously dumb about saying white people's lives matter?
Now wait a minute. I'm sorry. Didn't she just tell the dude telling white kids that Black Lives Matter is why would you say something that way, you know? And now she's saying that okay. I mean, she's invited to the cookout, y'all. Like, you know, we got poor security around here. So
como se dice, don't understand. You want to substantiate that? You want to explain what is dangerously dumb about saying something like that? And if it's dangerously dumb to say that about white people, why is it not the same to say it about black people? Why is it that we could hear people say Black Lives Matter, put it on their car, put it outside their business, wearing it on t-shirts, tattooing it on their forehead for the past, 5 years now, and that's not dangerously dumb? That's not a crazy message to hear. That's not something that is harmful that we need to take off the internet. But saying it in reverse for white people is, please explain. I would love to see another tweet of you explaining that worldview. And they probably won't, because it doesn't hold up. It's always a one-way street. Like I said before in the show, black people can do whatever they want and white people have to sit and take it. But
that'll be the day. I'm hoping for that day that, what I'm saying, you can do that right now, y'all. You do know that, but y'all gonna run me out the cookout and let her stay.
But when the wrong black people do it, like Candace Owens and Kanye, suddenly we have a problem. And as much as I'm not going to go around wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt, I totally understand why they do it. And it points out what is...
See, like, I ain't that much of a coon now, but I understand it. You know what I'm saying? You know how Chris Rock was like, I ain't saying... I ain't saying that OJ killed her. I ain't saying that it's right that if OJ killed her, it's right, but I understand, That's what she's telling y'all right now.
Is a discussion, as I said before, that needs to be had. What's so wrong with two black people wearing these White Lives Matter t-shirts? What are you going to tell them? You're going to tell them they're filled with white pride and white supremacy, two fully black people wearing these sweatshirts to an event of their own, to something that he's established himself, a business that he's created himself, a black-owned business? Are you going to tell him what he's wearing is problematic and that he shouldn't be able to wear it? You can try, but you'll have no argument to stand on because of his skin color. And that's the environment that you created. That's the culture that you created. Safeguarding black people from any form of criticism. And to see two black people flip it on its head and...
Now, let me tell you something. That's the last thing black people do, is save other black people from any form of criticism. If not, you're going to see, mulattoes like this, but also people who look just like him. But then you will also see these very people, like Candace Owens and her, like if a white Democrat, or racist white Democrat, because I agree, it's racist white Democrats. If they say something about her, oh yeah, racism exists. This is an example of racism, because it's crazy, And like when Kanye West was sitting there complaining about how they was treating him crazy in the fashion industry because there was some racism going on, that was kind of interesting too, Well, she's trying to get paid. The fans, the people listening to her is trying to get paid. She's like I think she kind of hustling, scamming them. You know what I'm saying? She running the scam on them, but that's why I ain't gonna expose her on that scam. Take their money.
And use it against you, I think is beautiful.
I'm gonna give you another ovation there. Yeah, I mean, I kept thinking of points to say as you're talking, and then you kept saying it. So like how the different rules apply and how they flipped it on its head. So yeah, I mean, this is just another case of exposing their logic.
Okay, we validated. The white boy said what he had to say.
This whole edit and shoot
of his anti-black
for Kanye to just take all for it, baby.
Yep, do it all over.
All right, so y'all can feel validated because the white boy came and backed y'all argument up. Yeah, we got y'all.
Again, and here's another tweet in response to this. Kanye West making black models wear, quote, White Lives Matter, end quote, shirts is a culmination of his anti-blackness and his immersion in white supremacy ideologies and methods. Disgusting. Who's to say that this woman or whoever this model is being forced to wear that? What an asinine just assumption for you to make. Why are you making the association of black people being made to wear something? You don't think they have a mind of their own? You don't think they get to decide what shirts they put on and what they model and how they walk and what they wear? You don't think this model decided whether or not to take this job, decided whether or not they support the ideologies of Kanye West and what he wanted to wear? Or do you think black models are incapable of making a decision like that? I love things like this when they happen.
And they probably didn't. They probably just sprung it on them when they got there. They can't just be like, no, because, what I'm saying, there's a job, But, it's like we was talking about earlier, what people are willing to do for a paycheck, what I'm saying? and what's more important, what's not more important, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying.
Happen because they flip the narrative on these people's heads and they're forced to stand by some of the statements that they've made. If you think white lives matter is unacceptable, then tell me why Black Lives Matter is. Tell me why we're able to have an entire organization with that name. Tell me why we went through months and months of riots in 2020 of people screaming Black Lives Matter while setting Black businesses on fire, killing Black individuals, not doing a single damn thing for the Black community, not helping us at all, but running with the name Black Lives Matter. Tell me why that's okay. And if it's not okay when white people do it, it sure as hell is not okay when Black people do it. So
now wait a minute, because those riots I've seen, it was like a lot of white boys burning stuff down. And, you know, they would have people of color businesses up, you know, and I see a bunch of Asians and Pakistanis or whatever they are, the, you know, East Mexicans or whatever. And, you know, of course, the West Arabs businesses, you know what I'm saying? So.
Come on now. I'm starting to love this more and more. I was a little iffy on it when I saw it for the first time, and now I'm seeing some of the responses, and I'm like, you know what? We're exposing something here. No, Kanye, don't wear the White Lives Matter shirt as a fashion statement, Kanye. Waking up as a Kanye fan in 2020 and opening up Twitter, having to drink because he's wearing these shirts.
Let's be honest. If you made it to 2022 as a Kanye fan, then you stuck around through some stuff.
And they stuck around.
Following him, he does some cool stuff. I mean, if it's a guy, it might be a girl.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Then.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, I don't think she does, Tanzan. But yo, to you know, to what Matron was saying right here, you know, Kanye and Candace opted out of the Black community by marrying out. Well, you know, right? White women and white dudes can have Black children. Y'all do know that, right? You know, according to, you know, what we've heard, you know. So I'm not sure. And so, like, it's hard to argue with him. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you this. It's hard to argue, you know, when this, like he said, the same people, or somebody probably put that up there, but the same people mad at me for wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, idolized my white wife, and made her whole family rich. What do you know? So it's hard to like, you know what I'm saying, like, argue with that. I'm not sure. It's a lot of people that would make excuses, and you know what I'm saying, but they gonna have the smoke for Kanye. We all gonna have the smoke for Kanye. See, that's not a problem. Like, you know, she makes it seem like, you know, Black people don't. We all make it seem like Black people don't get on other Black people. When I'm here to tell you, that's all I think we got the courage to do. You know what I'm saying? To only have the smoke for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to speaking out against other people, then all of a sudden is trauma bonding, is blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not preaching nothing, you know, whatever, man. So let me stop right there. All right, so I thought I had something else, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going with just while we on this chick here. We speaking on this part right here. So
Okay, but I know this may be a novel point, a novel idea for somebody who's, you know, a supporter of Trump, but there are people who are capable of being related and not having ethical interests.
There's many things that I don't stand by that Trump did. Trump has done things that are racist. I'm a Black woman first, so always understand that.
Hate that idea, first of all.
Mm.
No, you're not. You're whoever you are as an individual first, and that has nothing to do. But
you hear that, Tanzan? You're not Black first. No, you're not. No, you're not. She hates that idea. You're not black first.
Okay, but I know this may be a novel point, a novel idea for somebody who's, a supporter of Trump, but there are people who are capable of being related and not having ethical interests.
There's many things that I don't stand by that Trump did. Trump has done things that are racist. I'm a black woman first, so always understand that.
Hate that idea, first of all. No, you're not. You're whoever you are as an individual first.
Now, you know what's crazy? Y'all get on her for saying this, right? Y'all would get on her for saying this, but then y'all would say this same thing in your own way because, if Sha'Carri Richardson is gay, well, shut up and dribble. She's gay anyway, you know what I'm saying? Or Brittany Griner or whatever. Or if this person has this ideology, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? She says she's black first, and this chick would agree with a lot of what y'all say, no, you're an individual first. No.
First, and that has nothing to do.
But I do say that I have many conservative values that I will talk to you about. And so if you look at your network that you're standing behind, yes, and when you look at your network that you're standing behind, you're saying that you look at Chris Cuomo.
I feel like that's an oxymoron, a black Republican.
You feel like it's an oxymoron? I do. Why? Your friend right here is a Republican.
We had this conversation many times.
You do.
Oh, wait a minute. She's not black, though. You know what I'm saying? Well, time out. Right? We cannot deal. Well, some of y'all will say that she's black. I'm not sure, but she's not black enough for us to deal. We got to go with a pecking order. We got to deal with the darker you are. I damn near feel like that way. You know what I'm saying? The darker you are, the more we got to go after you first. You know what I'm saying? I guess. I don't know.
Don't like it. Imagine just looking at somebody and being like, oh, you're black and you think this? What a contradiction. Because your blackness means that you should think this, this, and that. I have it written here on a list for you because that's the list that I got when I was born as a black woman in America, and that's just now what I believe.
Okay, but I
All right, so, well, I'm not sure if y'all believe in it or whatever. What's up, bro? Amani. Yeah, so I'm not sure if y'all, whatever. All right, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and this was the part I'm gonna play right here because I was studying up on this spooked out conversation so I could be prepared. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. This stuff is it's dangerous here. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really dangerous. All right, so first of all, what's going on, Matron?
Hey, Forecast, how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
That's good. Yeah, you know how I feel about mulattoes. I don't know why you be putting them people on there. They have mixed energy and mixed allegiance. So you already know what it is.
Well, they're gonna fix you a plate at the cookout, Matron. So you better
I
watch
don't want no raisins in my potato salad. No, thank you. No, sir. No, sir. No. No.
I don't know. Our security is not tight at the gates. I'm sorry to let you know, but yeah, you probably gonna be. They're gonna probably be putting that hot dog on the plate for you. But
no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No. No, I won't go to the cookout then. That's okay. Y'all can tell me to stay at home.
Oh, they kicked me out. I'm trying to get as many people thrown out with me. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, make sure you want to say anything before I go into the spooked out part.
Oh no, go ahead. I just want y'all know I don't like them. I mean, it's not that I don't like mulattoes. I don't like people who don't understand who they really are and feel it necessary to tear down Black people because they are a soft target. So it's not, I don't hate nobody. I ain't gonna say that. I don't hate nobody, but I hate some of the things people do. And I hate what the mulattoes usually do because like Bakari always say, they usually pick their white side because it's easier.
Yep, I mean, that's what I've seen throughout history. I'm just saying. I mean, and this thing is they on the extreme of one end or another. You know what I'm saying? There's been oh yeah, I'm the most down as, I'm saying, ever, or more times than not, they're like you say, All right, so let me share the screen. So I'm pretty sure you familiar with this pastor though, so I ain't got to tell you. Now listen to some of this stuff here. You know what I'm saying? This is just the beginning. Then I'm gonna play some of the other stuff that he was saying.
What do you think about Black Lives Matter?
Black Lives Matter. The slogan is true, but it is very narrow the way it's presented.
Yeah.
What I mean is this. I was on another talk show and I said these words. It is hypocritical for Black brothers and sisters to flood the streets when a Black person is killed by a white cop. But yet the same anger, the same frustration is not produced on the same scale when Black may kill each other.
Yeah.
Now, wait, let me stop right here. Time out, because I hear this an awful lot. Now, when people say that, are they telling me that the police should get the same punishment that the Black people who kill other Black people get? Is that what they're telling me?
No, I don't think he's saying that at all. I don't think that's what he's trying to say. But see, my problem with anything a preacher or a pastor has to say is how much of everybody's 10% are you putting back into that community, or are you sitting there scared and afraid of these young people that you don't want to talk to? So, I got issues with preachers and what they do. Because if you gonna put the people to sleep, you supposed to take care of them. That's like medical malpractice or something. You just put somebody in a coma and then you like starve them to death. That's what they've been doing to their church members.
Yeah. And I you're right too. That's not what they're saying. But I'm gonna get to some even more other stuff that he said. But and just with that Black on Black crime thing, why people are protesting when somebody shoot like a kid at the park and then don't go to jail or something, or a little girl sleeping in her family's house and don't go to jail. And what happens to those Black dudes? Are they getting let off on court? You know what I'm saying? I think that's why people are protesting. And number two, if we're going to compare the people that you call thugs, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we're admitting that cops are on the same level as thugs finally, you know what I'm saying? So I give you that. But since we're going to compare those same people, I'd rather my tax money go to the hood and the people who, because I know a lot of their stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's like two things. I'm going to be honest. Most of it is about money, and then there's about women too. You know what I'm saying? I can't lie about that. But I'd rather my tax dollars go to the hood than to them. I think that would solve a lot more, but I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right about that, because you know what? Even though they have this mentality and this mindset, they're only trying to acquire those things because they are impoverished and sexually frustrated. The man with all the money get all the girls, and so he got to go do something to make all the money. He got to be a bigger thug. He got to be a bigger bully. He got to be a bigger pimp. He got to do this. He got to do that. All on a paper chase.
Yep. Yep, facts. You know what I'm saying? So if we're gonna compare the thugs together, I'm voting what my tax dollars going to. So yeah, I'm glad we cleared that up.
If Black Lives Matter, then a man should not be beating his woman. If Black Lives Matter, then our Black brothers should not desert their families. If Black Lives Matter, our Black brothers should be willing to work and take care of their children and not go on a baby making spree and then refuse to take care of any of them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start right there, because now he says some interesting things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how that pertains to specifically Black people. I'm not sure if he's saying that. But also he is like, well, I'm not right, God is, for all people. God is here for everybody, so.
Don't. I don't. That is not the God of the book. The God in the book is many gods with different characteristics and different treatments. And depending on how you relate to the book, then that means that's how you should act based on the story, So, no, I think he was trying to attack the single parent household demographic that's out there. But while there are single parents, they also have demographics that say that Black fathers are the most active fathers in the lives of the children. So, he's just saying that for clout.
Yep, and that's another thing. The single parent, it just means that the two parents are married. They could be living together, you know what I'm saying? It's just they're not married. And it doesn't mean the kid doesn't know who their father is. And me coming from a generation where, I was an 80s baby, and they try to call us crack babies or whatever, but they was the crackheads, so that's on them. But anyway, I understand that in my time, there were a lot of absent fathers. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a Black middle class neighborhood, which they try to act like that doesn't exist. Like all Black neighborhoods are poor, poverty stricken neighborhoods, And I grew up with both parents, but today is a different day. And most people they're like, I don't want to, like, my kid not to have, not be there. And I'm not saying there ain't no bad dudes out here. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But to generalize like that, and I don't know what they got to do with Black Lives Matter on top of that, because you know how many deadbeat white boys and white bitches out here, that's molesting their own kids and doing crazy stuff. But anyway.
Facts. And don't make out like Black men didn't have an opportunity at those factory jobs because them white boys was moving weight into the hood. Don't make out like the 2008 housing crisis did not totally decimate the Black middle class as we knew and understood it, because we went and we tried to buy those houses and realized, we really can't move everywhere. Don't make out like there are not other systemic problems in our society and in our communities that are ravishing them, that were only made more prevalent because we have a lack of resources. And not everybody's scared because, they've been scared of the hood since the 80s when they voted with Reaganomics and wanted the 1994 crime bill and all these other things to clean up the streets. But they're the ones that's supposed to do the work, and they're the ones that want to go and run to the church and pray to a two-faced God that doesn't exist. I don't want a two-faced God. My God favors me.
I got two sides. You know what I'm saying? He got that lynch mob though. So, but speaking of spooked out, and what up, Watchwana Hagazuki? Listen, I'm gonna play something for you after this. But let me play this part, and you can jump in anytime. But I just want to let you hear this one part of what he's saying about, and this ain't got really. This is more so to do with spooked out than anything, But listen to this.
And once you're born again of God, is it possible to sin?
Oh, yes.
And why is that possible?
Because when one is born again of God, just the phrase alone, being born again, if we go back to our own process and our natural birth, once we come into the world, we have to learn how to walk. And before we walk, we are carried. And then after we're carried, we begin to crawl. Then after we crawl, we learn to walk. But even when we learn to walk, we fall, we stumble, we trip until we master the ability of walking on our own. It's the same process with God. Nobody can serve God the way God requires unless they learn the book of scriptures, which are the lessons of God.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. He said, listen, with the scriptures thing, you know what I'm saying? Are you telling me I can't be good unless I learn? Because green eggs and ham with scriptures, you know what I'm saying? For that matter, you know what I'm saying? I learned the lesson in that book. Am I wrong here?
No, again, they have been thoroughly brainwashed by the process, or they're in on the hustle. Either way, it's bad advice, because if you don't understand that being carried means being integrated into a business, if you don't mean stumbling around and, walking and crawling means organizing your business plan and gaining skills. And if you don't understand walking as being able to incorporate yourself, then you have totally missed the mark, and you are selling people on something that is not real, because it's ridiculous that a pastor can wear $500, $1,500, $2,500 suits on church to Sunday every day in a poor neighborhood, and those poor people in that neighborhood coming and pulling together their twos and fews so they pastor can live a good life. And I heard that from people going to churches in the 80s and 90s. I can't have it, but my pastor can have it, and they are giving them nothing in return.
Damn. Yep. And like I said, I can't say that's what this particular one, but I've seen that in a lot of cases. I'd be like, yo, how you get that brand new car that but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let me play some more.
In the midst of our learning process, mistakes will be made, failure will take place, but those mistakes, one must be humble enough to correct them. Those mistakes, when we fall, one must be humble enough to admit their failures, so by the grace of God, they can rise.
Should they admit it to God or to someone else?
If I wrong you, then I should correct that thing with you.
Right.
Okay, that's a good principle. Okay, we can rock with that.
Correct that thing with you, then that is pleasing in the eyes of God.
I'm gonna keep going.
And so, have you been born again of the Spirit of God?
Yes, sir.
And do you still sin?
Oh, yes.
And what type of sin do you commit?
Wait, before I let him answer that, is that possible? Can you be a preacher and sin every day and continue to sin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That is a true statement, because everybody makes mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, but listen to the mistake he about to make, though. All right, I'm gonna let him play what his sin is.
What type of sin do you commit?
There are things that a good example. I'm a musician.
Amazing.
And I know it's wrong to love jazz music.
Now, wait a minute. Are you telling me I'm going to hell by like Coltrane or something?
He sound crazy. He sound like a damn fool.
Oh man, that's what he said. He said, "I'm gonna let him make his argument."
I know it's wrong to love jazz music because it's contrary to the book of scriptures. But I will.
What up, Bobby? Yo, is jazz music contrary to the book of scriptures?
No scripture I've heard.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, get that Duke Ellington out of here. All right.
Contrary to the book of scriptures. But I will never deny the fact certain jazz musicians I played piano for over 45 years. So I'm familiar with the Oscar Petersons and the Art Tatums and those who master the keys. But I will never justify myself by saying it is right because I want to do it. And this is what a person should never do.
Wait, now, so okay. Now I'm gonna ask you again, is it because he knowingly knows that jazz is a damn sin, but he likes jazz and he listens to jazz music all the time, knowing it's a sin. Now you can ask forgiveness, you know what I'm saying, and making a mistake. But if you keep doing something over and over and over, is it a mistake at that point?
No, it is a choice. This is why these same people this is why Botham Jean's brother wanted to hug that white woman. This is why they have forgiveness for slavery. This is why they tell people that you have to go and give forgiveness to people that have done unforgivable things to you. Is because he has a misinterpretation and he's espousing that message in a community that's already vulnerable and mentally weak. Or at least that's his public facing conversation. I don't know what he tells his church members. I don't know what they internal processes are, but his public facing message is wrong.
Yeah, I hate to hear one of his members be like, I like Michael Jackson. I wonder what he'd say to that. Like, oh my goodness. But yo, that's crazy to me though. Like jazz music, something that you can't help. Like, music is something like, yo, you like it or you don't. Something that you can't help. You telling me that his God, whatever he said, because you got to please this God outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You telling me that this God is programming me to like something, but as a sin that I like it. Like, how can that work? I would explode. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I mean, it's almost like he's saying that the God that he believes in deliberately puts in you the desire for something that you should not have. It's like that scene from I forget, but he said, "Look but don't touch, touch but don't taste, taste but don't swallow." And it's like, bro, are you kidding me? You're telling me that's what the God I serve? Now, there are some people that have acquired perverted behaviors that are abhorrent to society, that are just degenerates because they've been programmed that way by the larger external society. But if you could ever just take a moment to reconcile with yourself and be honest with yourself, you could strip all of that stuff away and be a good person. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong.
I'm not sure anymore. Nah, I listen to you before I listen to because you know what, you're black only. He's like, God is all sides, duality, dual God, I guess. But yeah.
You should never look at their position and say, well, because of who I am, I'm right because of what I want to do. No, all unrighteousness is sin.
And so is it a sin to like music, jazz music?
It's not a sin to like music, but it's a sin to like the music that's against the will of God. The book of scripture says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So
now you telling me, right? If I sit here and make a composition like, let me keep playing because he's gonna mention some more stuff.
As the people of God are commanded by the principle of scripture to hate those things that are contrary to the will of God. Jazz, blues, R&B, and all that stuff. That's not spiritual songs.
Now, wait a minute. Time out, right? Now, if like, what I'm saying, say I'm back in 1960s, what I'm saying, I met Muddy Waters, my girl just left me, and I just sung a song that's pretty spiritual to me, what I'm saying, like, I'm hurt, what I'm saying, I'm letting all my soul out in that one. Or if I, what I'm saying, I'm in the 90s and I meet, what I'm saying, a woman that I love and I start singing, what I'm saying, my heart out to her. You telling me that's not of God because it's R&B and the blues or whatever it is?
He's lying to you, because at the end of the day, the Bible also says, render unto God that which is God's, and unto Caesar that which is Caesar. It also says, be in the world, but not of the world. There are a lot of things that the book of scriptures, as he puts it, the book of his scriptures will say, but you have to put context and you also have to explain it, because it is a poetic, allegorical book full of myths and situations that people face every day. And if you don't understand your relationship to the text and your relationship to the people operating in the text, you will come away with a misunderstanding. The book itself says that it uses the foolish things to confound and confuse the wise. So he's just all over the place.
And it's crazy. They go on with this foolishness for like 30 minutes. I'll stop at like, the next 30. So I'm going to go to the time I marked down, which is like 10, like 40 seconds. But they go on with this foolishness for like 30 minutes. So it's interesting you say that.
It's not spiritual music. And certainly the hand of God is not moving within that music. So therefore, not by any means can one honestly say that music endorses the things of God.
Is there a difference in playing gospel music as opposed to jazz music?
There's a big difference.
And what's the difference?
Well, in Leviticus 10:10, it says, put a difference between holy and unholy, clean and unclean. It's a very good question you ask.
All right, so he gonna keep going. He gonna kind of avoid the question, but what the hell is holy and unholy? Was that already defined in the?
No, it's not. Not in that way, because there are some renderings of the word that says all music, which is why some churches didn't have music, but said that all music was of Satan, because Lucifer's body, the bright morning star, his whole body was music. So There are some people that feel
That had to
that
be a white church.
yeah, it was. But no, there was a black church that I went to that felt like you could that because Satan was the prince of the air, you could not play music in their church. So, there are a lot of interpretations out there, okay, about the book. And if you can convince people to live their life and organize their economy around the way that you interpret the book, that's fine. But there's also a general understanding that people can have of the book that will be independently empowering for us all because we live in a world of laws written and enforced by men. And once that message really sinks down into most of our consciousness, we will begin to understand that we live in in a world that we can construct. We have just chosen not to.
And yeah. And do you know who Pastor Geno Jennings is?
I've heard him. I've heard of him. I've seen him on, I think, Sonetta and some other places. I've heard people talk about his lectures, but no, I don't know him personally.
Yeah. Well, he's like supposed to be like a famous preacher or whatever, and a lot of people, because he debate a lot, you know what I'm saying? And he debate Muslims and a bunch of other, I listen to all of this stuff, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I listen to learn, like, there are positive things, but then there's like straight crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Dude, you tell like, that's the thing with spooked out stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude's sitting here talking about jazz music is evil R&B, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know he never gonna listen to a rap record, you know what I'm saying?
But if you don't have a jazz musician in your church, then you are despising what you don't have because you can't pull that into your economy to profit off of. Because at the end of the day, we have to be kind to one another and we have to figure out a way to do business or live amongst one another peacefully. Like, that's really what any organized religion is supposed to try to do. What happens is that what I have seen happen is that the people that are trying to organize these religions deify themselves. Dr. John Henrik Clarke talks about that all religions deify a people. And it's like, as an African person, unfortunately, I don't deify just myself. I understand that the only God I'll ever see is the God in you and the God in me. So I might have to look for it or I might have to better understand it. But there's at no point in time that I should diminish the God in me to make room for you.
Facts. And I'm glad you saying this right now because I want to do this for my brother Botswana. And and I gotta say peace to all the guys in the, you know what I'm saying, in the earth, you know what I mean? So let me show this last one before y'all get up out of here. Now, I like I said, I'm gonna try to explain. Like, now, listen, I'm gonna show something right here, and this is a little bit why I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? But why I can, this is the young early 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? We will get spooked out here. You know what I mean? So listen up, mongoose.
Peace. My name is Allah.
Peace.
Peace. My name is Allah.
Une organisation parmi les plus craintes et les plus secrètes de Harlem, les 5%.
Peace. And as you see the children greet the world in peace, and they are the future generations saying peace. This is the work of the sons of Allah. This is the work that come out through the truth, the Anon light.
Now, I don't know how much you know about Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really I understand they come out of the Nation of Islam. Just doing research or whatever, but
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them. The nickel's worth of information that I do have is probably not exchangeable for very much, but I have my challenges with their overall ideology as well.
Yeah, and they kind of did too, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the founder, I think I can't give you a detailed history, so I'm not really gonna try, but it seemed like they had their differences and it was just like a kind of a splinter off organization, you know what I'm saying? But you know, he about to drop the wisdom for y'all, man. You know, knowledge, wisdom, and I forget the other one, you know.
Here to come and here to be, always in life. These are our foundation. We are here to save the children of the world. The parents in the very near future, when they see themselves not fit to educate and qualify their children, will come and recommend them to be a 5%er. And the
Teach
children
God.
got to do their job to teach the parents to be civilized people. Because the world is uncivilized, and these are our words.
Facts, God,
Our
preach.
children, and all come in the name of Allah,
Whoa.
with the supreme being named. That God bring about a different change that the world been seeing misery of, that live in love, peace, and happiness. With the knowledge of each man upon this planet Earth, that he is God, and the original black man is God, the founder of all men upon the planet Earth.
The black man, the founder of all men on the earth, you know what I'm saying? Peace, God, that's right, God, preach.
We the 5% here, we represent ourselves as God through our true knowledge as God. All wise people who can teach civilization to all the human families,
Whoa,
which is
whoa,
all
wait a minute
generation
now.
upon this planet Earth, from seas to come, from seas to go, if they will to
Wait a
die.
minute. Oh, I ain't say
We the
none of that now.
5%ers, all wise people who can teach civilization to all the human families, which is all generation upon
Now, I don't know if he, you know, being accurate about, you know, trying to teach Neanderthals, but I don't know how you're going to civilize a Neanderthal. That's not very 5%-ish, if you ask me.
Me neither. I don't know. I had never heard their elevator speech. It sounds like they're on the mission that some of the ancients were on to go about civilizing the world. Um, and unfortunately, you don't have to civilize the world. That's nobody's job. You simply have to convince enough people that the quote unquote construct of law that you have created is better. That's all you have to do. Can you tell a lie big enough to benefit most people?
Well, no, it's about peace and knowledge and wisdom and civilizing the human family and
No, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's no such thing that's going to do that, because at the end of the day, when you strip away all the pretty words, what you recognize is that we live in a world of men. We live in a world of laws created by men and enforced and upheld by men. And if the men don't want to do it, and I say that in the general sense, not male and female, but just all human beings, if they don't want to do it, if they don't want to uphold the law, if nobody wants to live by this, there will be chaos in the earth.
man. Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that, you know what I'm saying? But it don't seem like, you know, they said they got all the knowledge in the world, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like they think that like talking and explaining things is going to help them achieve that goal as opposed to, you know, like the real world, stuff that happens in the real world, you know. And you know what's interesting? I was watching a documentary or whatever. This is kind of off topic, but it's the same thing. We spooked out, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know, and then I was watching, it was on bears or whatever. And then it was like a bear was just eating this fish. And then I realized, you know, all living things have to eat something that's living in order to maintain energy to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because you literally have to kill something to live, you know. I guess you can grow some, but you know, plants is living things too. So you're killing it, you know. But I guess that's the point of like I don't know the point of like, you know, people that don't eat things with a face or stuff like that. But you know, I'm just saying it's kind of interesting that you gotta kill something to live, to get the energy that you need. Like, you know, we could have just got the energy that we needed to sustain ourselves without killing other things, but it's not that way, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that you know, and on the vegetarian thing, they have simply convinced enough people that that is a way of life that they can follow, that they find peace with. Because and now there's an entire market around that vegetarianism. They coming up with all types of chemicals and different things like that to emulate cheese and milk, and it creates an economy. Religions are organizing principles to provide an economy and a means of exchange for people to have relationships with each other. Relationships are the basis of all economies, and religions are how we organize them.
Mm, mm. Now something spooked out and crazy where we can't listen to jazz music. All
I
right.
mean,
As long as we ain't teaching all the human family, I'm good. I'm with you. All right, let me let him finish with his let me let the guy finish the speaking,
On this planet Earth, from seeds to come, from seeds to go, if they will to die. We the 5%ers here to give out life to the world of people who want to live, and people who want to die, let them die.
Well, y'all
We
say
are
that
people
shit
with
all the
culture.
time.
I'm gonna tell you that. We are people with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture. We got the power to build over the planet Earth because we are the youth. We got the equality because we deal equal with our power.
What the hell? See, you had me, you know what I'm saying? What the?
The youth. We are
No, he
people
said
with
real
culture.
stuff here.
I'm gonna tell you that. We are people with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture. We got the power to build over the planet Earth because we are the youth.
Now, this is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that, you know what I'm saying? And you are the youth, you know what I'm saying? You have the power to build. You're going to be the ones in charge of what's going on next, you know what I'm saying? And some of the examples that, my generation is leaving, the generation before me, and definitely the generation after me. I'm sorry. I can't, it's hard to vouch for after 95 for real. I'm sorry. But they aren't getting the right visuals that we need to be seeing here, you know what I'm saying? And we get a lot of this love, everybody, our God is two-sided, you know what I'm saying? And even with the most militant people here, you know what I'm saying, the 5% is trying to teach everybody how to love, so I don't know.
We got the equality because we deal equal with our power. We got God seeker, we got God in our mind. We build with God knowledge because we got God in our mind. Peace. Peace.
All right, peace on God, man. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't want to keep you on here. I want to show one more thing on some masculinity stuff, but did you want to say anything on the spooked out thing, Matron?
you know, whatever it takes for you to organize yourself and do business is whatever it takes. Because we tell ourselves a lot of different things so we can live this life each and every day. But giving people any type of message without teaching them financial literacy, how to organize a business, what skills are really necessary, and offering them an actual opportunity to integrate into the community that you're building and teaching them about relationships is doing them a disservice. I'm going to just keep banging on that box. I'm going to keep banging on that box.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm preparing for that. That's what I've been doing. I'm preparing for that show. Can't wait to have a spooked out show. Cause I know that I like how you present it. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was saying things, you put the power back inside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who will use that power and put it outside of yourself, you already starting from a losing position. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else is controlling whether you succeed or you fail, whether you're happy or sad or something else. You know what I'm saying? But once you realize that, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, God, y'all got to have that knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know what I'm saying? So, it's difficult to roll with the 5% thing when they talking about educating a whole you know, he said we are equality because we equal with our justice, but you know, we're dealing with, we can't even get justice for ourselves before we talk about equal with our justice. You know what I'm saying? So
We would only be able to have justice for ourselves if we have more judges and attorneys and lawyers and doctors and teachers and educators and people willing to go into school board meetings and people willing to go be cops. We would only produce more justice for ourselves when we have established the institutions to train our people to do these jobs. Unfortunately, the people that get trained to do these jobs think of themselves as rugged individualists, militant integrationists, and integrationists that are trying to break into a white society and power structure. Most of our people that have those skills and abilities in mass become white within 1 or 2 generations because they marry a white person and then their children marry white people. And those skills wind up in the white community and their resources wind up in the white community. So don't tell me that it's about a God in heaven that's not the God inside of me and the God inside of you. Don't tell me that it's about building a relationship with God when you're not offering me a community to build relationships in. Don't tell me that I have sinned and I have to come and pay penance to you and pay my tithes to you and I'm getting nothing in return, because that is a disservice to the people. Again, if you're going to put them to sleep, take care of them.
yep, facts. And by the way, Matron, did you see that judge I showed at the beginning?
Yeah, that was the judge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts, yo. And you speaking absolute facts, you know. So the last thing I wanted to do, I wanted to show some kind of black masculinity here that hasn't been shown before, or I haven't seen before. And I can really only find one thing, which is kind of bad, but let me play this last thing here. I was gonna show this, but it's not, it don't really matter. I don't know if y'all saw this, but check this out.
You can go to a different location if you like. I know there's one in Rockingham. Southern Pines has one as well. But I'm not renting you here.
So you're not just a weird too.
Ma'am, I gave you a ride to the bank, got you back to the bank, got you back here. You then said I had a smart ass mouth, and if I was your boyfriend, you would beat my ass, so I'm not putting you in the car. I'm not here. Like I said, you can go to a different location, completely fine, but if you want to pick up from Laurinburg, no ma'am, not today.
You are a real genuine piece of pure joy.
Okay.
Yeah. Really helpful.
Of course, no problem.
Yeah. Really.
You're very welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I got more video. Now she decides.
I know what it is. I feel offended.
Why?
I know why you're doing this.
Why?
Because I'm white.
I literally just put a white lady in the vehicle.
I know. And then
So what's the problem?
Because I'm white and you offended me.
What?
I feel offended.
How? Why?
Because I feel like you're discriminating against me. Because
Man, you literally said if you were my boyfriend, I would beat your ass.
I'll see who I can contact.
Yeah, call anybody.
I'm so offended.
Okay.
What's your name?
Trey. Yeah.
I'm gonna go on TV.
Okay, go on TV. Go on TV.
My life matters.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
Sure does.
I'm so offended.
Okay, be that.
Oh, yes.
All right, so speaking of White Lives Matter, listen, I don't know if you saw Tanzan's show. She gonna have the best show on YouTube. Like, real
She gonna have the best show. Yeah.
And so I had to show some black masculinity. That's the best I could find for y'all right now on such short notice. But I don't know how you feel about that, Matron.
Whew. He seems totally curved out. But anyway, I guess that's black masculinity. He was professional. I mean, he had the chain of "this is my job" at the end of the day. I would not have entertained something like that long. And I don't know why he did. But, I guess he was, obligated. I suppose. But if this is what we got for black masculinity, we're doomed.
Hey, I can't say that, matron. I'll be considered a simp, so I'll let you say that. But listen, I don't know. Like my man did sit there and talk, and I don't even know. I'm not even gonna go into the other stuff that seemed kind of weird. You know what I'm saying about everything. But of course she tried to hit the white tears, and I say masculinity because at least he stood his ground. Now he sat there and tried to explain it, and I wonder if it was a black woman, would it be like, we probably not him. He probably would have been quote unquote professional, but I'm not sure if that temper like would that black bee, you know what I'm saying, and all of this, I don't know if that would have came out a lot quicker.
Yeah, he probably would have escalated the situation if it had been a black woman, because she also would have escalated the situation, because by and large, we don't know how to talk to one another. We don't know how to have a listening ear with one another. And we feel like we got to get ignorant with one another in order to be heard from one another.
Yeah, facts. And it seemed like we only got that energy, you know what I'm saying? Because if I call a black woman the queen, you know what I'm saying? I call you the revolutionary matron, you know what I'm saying? I call y'all queen that bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. But if we can call black women that so easily, y'all shouldn't be so offended, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, and like you said, for her to pull out the white girl tears at the end to make out, I'm offended because I'm white. And I was like, what does that have to do with anything that just happened here? Didn't you use a derogatory slur at the beginning of this? What? So she was trying to trade on that white privilege card and wrangle her a slave, and it didn't work. So I guess you're right. Maybe he did stand his ground, but I don't. I have a vision of masculinity that does not entertain the nonsense. All of the black men that are in my world, whether it was, uncles, fathers, stepfather, cousins, brothers, they don't entertain the nonsense. They let you sit there and tire yourself out, and then they lay down the law, and it's what it is. Now, there's always time for dialogue and conversation, but going back and forth with you and all that doesn't happen in my reckoning of black manhood and masculinity.
Oh man. Well, they might come after you next, matron. I'm not sure. I don't know. But let me say this, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, as a man, you stand your ground. You don't care what nobody else thinks. And it's not that you don't care about other people. It's just that you know your lane and you have faith and knowledge in yourself. Like I said, I came to a mark where I realized, that I have, like, there's no more questioning who I am. There's no more trying to explain myself, even though I still work on the unapologetic thing. And Tanzan, we're gonna have to work on it together, I guess. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just being more unapologetic and understanding, because when you really understand how the world works and everything works, you understand that you don't really have to blame anybody else for your downfall. And associating with negative people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't act like I haven't been done dirty, but I'm not gonna be like, yo, all black women are this or all black men is this, because a lot of times we judging that out of our trauma. Because if you ask them with something about their personal life, they're gonna be like, oh, forget this personal person that's very close to me, and I understand that as a man, it's up to me to do what I have to do and understand. But being a part of being a leader is knowing when to listen, when to take charge, when to, what I'm saying, fall back and all of this thing. And it's called like teamwork makes the dream work. I don't know everything. Somebody may have more knowledge in a certain area than me, what I'm saying? And then I have to lean on that, what I'm saying? That person takes the lead. It's working together, what I'm saying? Like, we've seen, like, we don't have to say scientifically, but through society, what I'm saying? We've seen what it's like without the men in the house. We know it'll be devastation without the women in the house. And I wonder why it takes that dynamic for it to work. So yeah. Go ahead, Matron. You could take all the time you want and close out and everything.
No, I thank you and appreciate you for having me on the show. I was looking at some of the comments and Mr. Untouchable said he working on it, but even through the name calling, yes, even through the name calling, these black men that I know maintain their composure because my uncle said something to me years ago. He said he never argued with my aunt. My aunt used to try to be a firecracker. He said he let her stand there and argue with herself. He sit there and he'll have something to drink if you want to drink or smoke him a cigar or eat him a sandwich or whatever. And he'll let her argue with herself. And then when she say, "Do you hear me?" And he'll look up at her and say, "Yes." And you don't have nothing to say. And he said, "I was just letting you finish." Because you have to do that. But that comes with a certain level of maturity. And so those are the examples of men that I've seen in my life. And funny story, I was talking to a guy, we were friends, we were kicking it. I guess he thought we were dating. I didn't think of it that way. We weren't intimate and we weren't, exchanging things. He hadn't invested anything and we hadn't invested anything in each other other than some phone calls. And he said, "Don't you recognize I'm a man?" And I was just like, "I've never dated one before." And it offended him because he would argue and want to bicker and complain. And I stress peace. So, you know, unfortunately, that level of maturity and masculinity and manhood is missing. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for letting me come on your show. I appreciate you. And like I say, we gonna pick a text, we gonna pick some scriptures and we gonna analyze them. We gonna be spooked out together on somebody's platform.
Yeah, y'all. I can't wait, yo. We can do it on yours whenever you want. Just let me know, because yeah, I gotta challenge you on that spooked out stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I feel what you're
Facts.
saying. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta challenge you.
Facts.
Mhm. Yo, and what up, melanated goddess? And yes, like you said, Matron, a part of that is, like I said, man, the older I get, the less I'm letting other things knock me off my square. It's not just women; it's all the circumstances in life. The more that you are able to stay on your square, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? As men, we ain't always gonna be on our square all the time. It's things that happen. And that's when you can see the character of the people around you too. And it's up to us to have discernment. It's not about, like, when people say, "Oh, it's hard to trust," it's more so about trusting yourself to make the right decisions and knowing and understanding the experiences that you went through. Like, listen, like, you know how they be like, yo, I've been there, got the t-shirt. Like, listen, I got a lot of t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all got our t-shirts, as men, as women. I don't know what y'all go through. I can't, but I know as men, I got my t-shirts, and we learn. That's the way that we learn these things, and it's understanding the difference between, just like with anything, like, we can understand the difference between coons and people that's like, yo, it's the same thing. Like, understanding the difference between toxic people and people that is not toxic, and then having the boundaries and being man enough to stand on your boundaries. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Having things that you won't compromise on and things that you will compromise on, and that's a part of, like, having a family. But it's important for young boys to see a man treating his woman right, and a woman responding to that the right way, and it's important for a young girl to see the same thing, and how a woman treats a man and how a man responds to that. And that's why they attack our families. That's been a 400 or 500-year process. You know what I'm saying? I don't get how we don't understand it. And the crack epidemic really was, like, damaging. But, like, yo, I have more faith that we can, get it together. But, like, listen, blaming each other and, like, and pointing the finger, that's is not going to get it. And that's in all divisions, tribal divisions, men, women, where we from, all of that, because we understand that it takes, both to do it. I get it from the women's side. Like, yo, why would I respect somebody who allowed me to get raped and rape my children and take everything? He's sleeping in the backyard. Dude, come outside. He talking about some, yes, sir. Oh yeah, you can go ahead and have my wife, sir. And don't look him in the eyes, and telling his kids don't look him in the eye and say, oh, well, we shouldn't be black and blah, blah, blah. You will lose respect for that. And I understand on the other side too, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there are things that is difficult in the dating world, there are people that is all about themselves, it's all about money, and people only look at men like men could be the only bad things, but it's not true. There's bad people everywhere. But I don't know what Botswana Hagasaki laughing at, but yeah. But yeah, oh man, go ahead, Matron.
Yeah, I don't know what he laughing at either, but one of the things we've been very good at is we have been good at surviving the encounter. And for as long as we have survived the encounter, many of us never picked up a book. Most public school education does not train and equip you to be ready and prepared for life because they don't give you enough information to do anything. And if they see a child trying to break out and break free and break out of the program, they oftentimes stigmatize that child and do different things, whether it's special education classes or just finding a way to incite violence and get them kicked out of school. So we have survived the encounter enough. We need to mass educate our people, and then we need to stand up and we need to face the beast, period, point blank. Them the steps. Them the steps that every society that organizes itself goes through. That's it.
Yeah, facts, Matron. I was just putting your channel in the chat. Oh yeah, I see what you said. Yeah, I feel you. But yo, that's Matron channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to that. Yo, Tanzan, she got her other channel. I was trying to do the quick way, but I can't really go through it. But make sure y'all subscribe to her channel. Matron, when are you gonna be on again? I want everybody to know that when you next.
I'll be live Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be reading The Rebirth of African Civilization, which is a book by Chancellor Williams that doesn't get as much attention as his book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. And the reason I'm reading that particular book is because we don't read how to restructure things. We only hear about our destruction and our decimation. And we don't look into the books that will give us the real answers. Most people know some part of the history, or they know enough of the history to be an actualized full man or full woman. But what they don't do is they don't go back and they don't look at how to rebuild themselves.
Yep, facts. And Matron has the best class on YouTube and the smartest chat room. Like, yo, you really do have the smartest chat room on YouTube like that I've ever seen. Like, and I don't, that's the truth. So make sure y'all subscribe to the Matron's channel. Hers is in the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe to Bitter Medicine Podcast. It's gonna be Saturday at 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? It's probably gonna be crazy this time. I'm not sure, but yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to him.
Yeah, Saturday probably gonna be off the chain. I don't know what y'all took Tanzan down that path. I used to do them late nights. So y'all be live at night. Sometimes. So yeah, Coco show gonna be off the chain. Everybody gonna be there. I'm gonna try to fall through. It's gonna be a trip. It's gonna be a trip.
Yeah, I wish you would have came because they wouldn't have tried you either. You know what I'm saying? You and consider it. They don't try y'all. You know what I'm saying? Tanzan need that unapologetic like y'all. That's what I'm saying. Tanzan got the information. Should be killer.
Tanzan is still very polite. She has been thoroughly civilized by her Kenyan educational process. I'm still the violent. I'm still the violent.
See, we need that energy right there. See, that's what the revolutionary matron, But Tanzan is the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, she is the truth. She knows a lot of stuff, and she gets sassy with him, and she, in her classy way, and her accent is beautiful to watch and listen to. But it's like, nope. Every once in a while, you just gotta crack them up over the head. You gotta be loud. You gotta be loud.
Mm-hmm. And you see Tanzan, right? Even though you are not that way, you know what I'm saying? They still got the same smoke for you as they do for Considera and the rest of them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not with certain people, you know what I'm saying? Because there are people that are loud and, you know what I'm saying, and you know, are to control. But with some people, when they say these things, they don't know who they're talking about and they just generalize it, you know? So, like, don't even worry about it, Tanzania. You'll kill them, you know? But
She gonna get them. She gonna get them. She gonna get them. It's okay. Some people think that I'm really nice just because sometimes I'm quiet. They, you know, they missed out on some of those late night shows I used to do. We'd be up 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, having started at 10 o'clock the previous night, arguing. So, you know,
yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, because you are kind of quiet, but like I ain't gonna lie, like I can tell because like every time that somebody says something, you like, well, actually, and then they can't really say nothing or future information because like you like know so much stuff, you know. So
Each and every one of us is a living library. Your testimony and your testament is the life you live every day. That's your politics too. That's why Black politics matters.
yeah, facts. It's just my only thing is like, yo, I see dudes that's like talking about, oh, what is black and all of this stuff, trying to challenge sisters that at least like saying like, yo, let's do something. Like, we're not even going to talk about all of this stuff, but let's do something. So that does bother me, you know, and it's hard to take up because I'm on the dude's side. It's crazy. I'm on y'all side. It's just hard to be like, when they be like, well, what are y'all like? Well, we be like, well, it's your fault. No, I can't be with that part of it, you know. But yeah, I ain't gonna keep trying to drag it out. But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to Matron. She's Monday at 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Best class on YouTube. Koku Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. Help me.
Eastern Standard Time. Then we have the Pro Black Perspective, which is Oni Tase. He is Sundays at 11:30 a.m. most Sundays. I don't know what he's doing with his show when he takes his travels, but that's when he airs. And then there's the Harsh Reality Podcast, 8 p.m. Sundays. Brother Bakari and you also. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell for all the shows, including Cassidra Cheek, who is new to our network. Hey, sis. So make sure you subscribe to all of those channels and hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're live and you can interact and talk with us.
Yeah, facts. And you don't want to miss none of them. Matron, Tanzan, Bitter Medicine Podcast, none of them, because I'm not sure what was about to happen. So, but yeah, I appreciate it. And I'm gonna let Khalid Muhammad have the last words, if that's all right with y'all.
I hate to hear a black man say, well, we outnumbered. They got more guns than we got. Oh, black woman, you in trouble when you got a black man talking like that. You mean to tell me that your woman is in a house being raped by 20 men and they got 20 guns and you ain't got but one gun? And you gonna just go and cry and leave her in there being abused and misused and say, they got more guns than I got. I can't go in there. If you got a man like that, goddammit, you ain't got no man. You might as well get rid of him. You ain't got no man. A real man has got to face it. A real man has got to determine the strategy for going in there and getting his woman out and taking some of the enemy out. That's a real man.
Yeah, facts. And the enemy is not your own, by the way. I gotta clarify that too these days. It's not your own people, it's the other people that don't look like you. But thank you, Matron. Thank you, Tanzan. Raw is another one, you know, I don't have to question. Probably one of the more unapologetic people, way so more than me, you know, along with MD2. So shout out to him and MD2 too. And I would definitely throw the revolutionary Matron in there. And Oni, my brother, thank you for tuning in. Botswana Haguzaki, you know what I'm saying? Haguziki, my bad. Thank you for coming through, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break down the spooked out thing for you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Wright, appreciate it. Melanated Goddess, shouts out to you. You know, my brother Bukari, everybody that came in. I got a shout out to my sister Erica Howard. I'm sorry too, because you know, I haven't been saying that. Oh yeah, Koku too. Shout out to Koku. But shouts out to Erica Howard. You know what I'm saying? She feeling much better. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that she gonna be back with us soon. You know, so I gotta give her a big shout out and much love. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.